This is TechCrunch.
TechCrunch Disrupt Battlefield 2023 winner, Biotics AI, announced on Monday that it has received FDA clearance for its AI software that helps detect fetal abnormalities in ultrasound images. The product was envisioned by founder-CEO Robbie Bostami, who was raised in a family of obstetricians, including his mother, aunt, and uncle. He spent a lot of time in hospitals growing up, often traveling with his mother as she provided maternal care throughout the U.S. After learning to code and studying computer science at UC Irvine, Bostami teamed up with Salman Khan, Chaskin Saroff, and Dr. Hisham El-Gamal in 2021 to launch Biotics AI. Bostami told TechCrunch that the technology uses computer vision AI to support fetal ultrasound quality assessment, anatomical completeness, automated reporting, and seamless integration into clinical workflows. He hopes his tech will help the U.S. combat the fact that the U.S. has one of the worst prenatal outcomes for mothers among high-income nations. Black women in particular face a very high rate of maternal deaths. Bostami said that the prenatal ultrasound has become the cornerstone of monitoring pregnancies, but its low-quality images can lead to misdiagnosis. Bostami said the hardest part was not building his AI models, which were trained on a diverse set of hundreds of thousands of ultrasounds, but ensuring the tech performed reliably in the real world, especially on demographics with the highest risk for a tragic outcome. Bostami said, "In an environment where disparities in healthcare outcomes are well documented, it was critical to demonstrate consistent performance across patient subgroups, not just in idealized cases." The CEO said it took just under 3 years to go through the FDA process, including testing and validating the product. The experience taught him and his team how critical it is for engineering, product, clinical, and regulatory work to be tightly aligned from the very beginning. He said by designing the product, clinical validation, and regulatory pathway together, rather than sequentially, we were able to move quickly. Now, with FDA clearance, Bostami said the company's next focus is scaling across various health systems nationwide. He also has plans to add more features for fetal medicine and reproductive health. Bostami said the company is positioned to scale both distribution and clinical impact while continuing to deepen the power of our technology. Sequoia Capital is reportedly joining a blockbuster funding round for Anthropic, the AI startup behind Claude. That's according to the Financial Times. It's a move sure to turn heads in Silicon Valley. Why? Because venture capital firms have historically avoided backing competing companies in the same sector, preferring to place their bets on a single winner. Yet, here's Sequoia, already invested in both OpenAI and Elon Musk's xAI, now throwing its weight behind Anthropic, too. The timing is particularly surprising given what OpenAI CEO Sam Altman said under oath last year. As part of OpenAI's defense against a high-profile lawsuit by Musk, Altman addressed earlier rumors about restrictions in OpenAI's 2024 funding round. While he denied that OpenAI investors were broadly prohibited from backing rivals, he did acknowledge that investors with ongoing access to OpenAI's confidential information were told that access would be terminated if they made non-passive investments in OpenAI's competitors. Altman called this industry standard protection, which it is, against misuse of competitively sensitive information. According to the FT, Sequoia is joining a funding round led by Singapore's GIC and US investor Coatue, which are each contributing $1.5 billion. Anthropic is aiming to raise $25 billion or more at a $350 billion valuation, more than double its $170 billion valuation from just 4 months ago. The WSJ and Bloomberg had earlier reported the round at $10 billion. Microsoft and Nvidia have committed up to $15 billion combined, with VCs and other investors said to be contributing another $10 billion or more. The Sequoia connection with Altman runs deep. When Altman dropped out of Stanford to start Looped, Sequoia backed him. He later became a scout for Sequoia, introducing the firm to Stripe, which became one of the firm's most valuable portfolio companies. Sequoia's new co-leader Alfred Lin and Altman also appear comparatively close. Lin has interviewed Altman numerous times at Sequoia events, and when Altman was briefly ousted from OpenAI in November 2023, Lin publicly said he'd eagerly back Altman's next world-changing company. While Sequoia's investment in XAI might seem to have already contradicted the traditional VC approach of picking winners, that bet is widely viewed as less about backing an OpenAI competitor and more about deepening the firm's extensive ties to Elon Musk. Sequoia invested in X when Musk bought Twitter and rebranded it, is an investor in SpaceX and The Boring Company, and is a major backer of Neuralink, Musk's brain-computer interface company. Former longtime Sequoia leader Michael Moritz was even an early investor in Musk's X.com, which became part of PayPal. Sequoia's apparent reversal on portfolio conflicts is especially glaring given its historical stance. As we reported in 2020, the firm took the extraordinary step of walking away from its investment in payments company Phoenix after determining the startup competed with Stripe. Sequoia forfeited its $21 million investment, letting Phoenix keep the money while giving up its board seat, information rights, and shares, marking the first time in the firm's history it had severed ties with a newly funded company over a conflict of interest. Sequoia had led Phoenix's $35 million Series B round just months earlier. The reported Anthropic investment comes after dramatic leadership changes at Sequoia, where the firm's global steward, Roelof Botha, was forced aside in a surprise vote this fall, just days after sitting down with this editor at TechCrunch Disrupt with Lin and Pat Grady, who'd led that Phoenix deal, taking over. Anthropic is reportedly preparing for an IPO that could come as soon as this year. That's it from TechCrunch. For more stories like these, go to TechCrunch.com.